Morning, peeps. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget as well to like and share the vids. All right, let's have a good old chinwag about the news that broke late last night. Before we do that, though, let's have a quick swig of the amber nectar. All right, let's give credit to the man that broke the news as well, and that was Chris McKenna. Chris McKenna was the first one to report this news. For those of you that have been living on Mars, the news is that a US judge has ruled in an arbitration that Fury must give Wilder a third fight after long mediation between the two. It does leave the Joshua fight in doubt. Fury must now face Wilder before September 15th or, and this might be the important bit here, reach a financial settlement with the American. Now, obviously, look, my phone was blowing off. Ade, get to the green chair. I was going to get to the green chair, but it was late last night and I was a bit tired. Look, if I'm honest with you, this doesn't change anything when it comes to the Fury-Joshua fight. It doesn't. Now, we are the last to know about any of this stuff, but I fully believe that there are smarter people than me and you that are making this fight that would have known that a judge would have ruled in favour of Deontay Wilder. So I do believe that Bob Arum would have known this was coming. Let's not forget, Bob Arum himself was a lawyer, I believe. Eddie Hearn, right? Fury announcing it on his Instagram, 2 days ago. He would have known about this coming as well. So I don't think this changes it. Again, for me, it's that last line, or reach a financial settlement with the American. I think that's the important thing here. And that might have been why this fight was being delayed. A lot of people were saying, oh, Fury's not signed, AJ's not signed. Well, no, this is probably behind the scenes why this fight was being delayed, right? And maybe it's a case of a financial settlement has been reached with Deontay Wilder. I mean, look, there's a couple of things that happen here. Let's not complicate this. The AJ Fury fight doesn't happen and Fury fights Wilder before September 15th. That's a realistic option now. I have to admit it. Pains me to say it, but that's a realistic option. The second thing is that they reach a financial settlement and that there is no second fight between AJ and Fury. Remember before there was talks about a second fight in December. Maybe that doesn't happen and Fury Joshua winner fights Deontay Wilder. If I'm Deontay Wilder, I'm sorry, this isn't even complicated. I sit back, collect whatever they're going to pay me for not fighting, which could be, let's just have a get. Look, even if it's £1 million, and it will be more than that, even if it's $1 million, someone's paying you not to fight. It'll be way more than that. It'll be around 10 million. 10 million, take it, sit back, relax, and fight the winner for everything. No. I mean, look, I say for everything, it's going to get way more complicated than that. I mean, the WBO are going to jump in about Usyk and he's shot. There's going to be loads of shit happening. All we need to do is just limp to August 14th, get that fight over, and then I don't really give a fuck where the belts go and what happens. That's just how I feel about this situation, because Usyk will, and the WBO are going to get involved in this situation. They really are. Now, some people are obviously screaming about Wilder, how dare you? Well, how dare he not? I mean, if they're in a contract is a third fight or a second fight at the time, because that's what it was, right? It was 2 fights. If there is something in the contract that says Tyson Fury has to fight you a second time, then you can't blame Wilder for wanting that second fight. The only thing is, I guess, that Wilder went radio silent after the loss, didn't he? Went radio silent. We didn't hear from him. I think he done one video saying something like, I am the king, I will be back, or something along those lines. Then that was it. Right, he accused Tyson Fury of 100 different things, right? I mean, accused him of cheating and this and that, so much shit. So, look, it's been complicated and up and down, but if he is guaranteed a second fight, then he deserves his second fight. If that's in the contract, then that's what he deserves. People might be screaming at me right now, saying, that's not fair, Eddie. Well, it's in the contract. You know, let's not forget, Wilder chose Fury the first time around when he really didn't have to. He gave Fury a bone, right? He didn't have to at all. Fury was out fighting the PNSs and the Sefer Safaris. He gave him his opportunity. He put Fury back on the map. It's true. It really is true. So maybe he's due that bone himself now. Maybe he's due. I don't think he is because of his actions and the way he's been talking in the last sort of 6 or 7 months. What am I saying, 6 or 7 months? The last year, you know, but mate, I mean, there's smarter people than me and you that have decided that he is worthy of that rematch. But for those of you that are thinking this somehow cancels AJ Wilder, it doesn't. I mean, these motherfuckers, I didn't mean that, by the way. These people have started building an indoor arena. That's already started. August 14th is the date. Tyson Fury said it. Eddie Hearn said it. The thing we're all waiting for now, and I bloody got Eddie Hearn on like waiting for his Twitter to say something, so IFLT, something, just to confirm that they already knew this was going to happen. They're pushing forward. Deontay Wilder's going to get his step-aside money, all those things. That's what I'm waiting for. But I don't know. It feels like a lot of people are getting step-aside money here. Like I've got a feeling that Usyk's got some step-aside money as well. What a mess this is. But I mean, again, I don't think it changes anything, and I think the fight will carry on. Yeah, that's just my 2 pence on it. But yeah, look, it is disappointing. But look, if he's due a second fight, I keep saying a third fight, a second fight, then that's part of the contract. The only issue I have is that why did this guy go radio silent for what feels like an eternity? Boxing, eh? Boxing. Guys, we are going to do a live watch along of Josh Taylor Ramirez this weekend. I will let you guys know as to when that is. We are going to do some videos in the build up to it. We haven't forgotten, I haven't forgotten, just that so much shit has happened with this AJ Fury and now Wilder scenario. God, boxing, man. Boxing. You know, the worst thing is as well, who actually even wants to see a Wilder Fury trilogy fight? Fury's beat him twice. I don't want to see it. But I mean, the build-up is going to be really dark and nasty, isn't it? It's going to be horrible because of how the fight ended and all the accusations, and it's going to be horrible, but it might happen. It might happen. What I would love to happen, even more so, because we've now seen Fury Wilder twice, you might say this is me fanboying, but it really isn't. Just as I would love to see AJ now beat Fury and AJ have to fight Wilder. Because that's what we were waiting for like nearly 12 months. Didn't happen. That's what I'd love to see. I'd love that to happen, that scenario. All right, let's quickly run through some stories. Anthony Yard return eyed for July. Lyndon Arthur rematch in the fall. Okay. What's this one? 14-day waits for Devin Haney and Jorge Linares. Jorge Linares 142.6, Devin Haney 141.9. I'd love to know what these guys actually walk around at. I'd love to know it. 2 seconds. Everything is just all about this fucking Fury Wilder stuff. Oh God, look at this. Look at this line. Read this line. Or listen to this. Jake Paul. Floyd Mayweather will severely underestimate my brother. Yeah, he will, because your brother's not a professional boxer, and Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters we've ever seen who's still in shape. So yeah, he will underestimate him. I mean, what? Of course he'll fucking underestimate him. You know, so at TalkSport, they do like five-a-sides sometimes, like the guys go and play five-a-side. Darren Bent, who retired, Darren Bent retired 3 years ago? Darren Bent plays with them and destroys them. Now these kids, you know, they play football. They have a knock around. They're fit lads. Some of them play, little semi-pro football. Darren Bent goes on the park and just, it's embarrassing. Embarrassing. This is it. Like, yeah, your brother, has a little knock. He can box a bit. It's Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to play with you, boy. He is going to play with you. By the way, we haven't really spoken about, what's his name again? Joshua Buatsi and Dos Santos. Look, good win for Buatsi. Got tagged once or twice. Good win. I'm going to hold back and saying it was a very good win just because his opponent hadn't fought anyone. But look, he got the job done. Do you think Buatsi can go to 168? Like, I can't help but feel he looks small for 175. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do next of him because I don't think he separated himself from the pack over here. And I feel like I need to see him fight someone over here. Like all of a sudden, remember it was at one stage just Callum Johnson, Anthony Yarde, and then everyone's talking about Buatsi. All of a sudden, that pool has now opened up a bit with Lyndon Arthur and Craig Richards' performance against Dimitri Bivol. There's 5 or 6 guys over here first to fight. Any one of them to tell me you separate from the pack first. I need to see him in against any one of those. Anyone. Honestly, any one of them. For me to be like, okay, cool. Before we start talking about him fighting someone at fringe world level, because, man, I've got a few question marks over Buatsi, you know. I like the kid a lot, but I need to see it over here first against someone. Like, all of our kids that I just mentioned would do that same thing, I think, to Dos Santos. Honestly, Lyndon Arthur, I think, might go points with him. I think Lyndon Arthur would beat him as well. Yarde would smoke the kid. Craig Richards would beat him. I mean, fucking Callum Johnson would send him into space. So I need to see them first. Regarding doing a video about Josh Taylor Ramirez, I'm not going to talk about Josh Taylor Ramirez in this video just because I do want to do a separate video, maybe Thursday, on it. So if anyone's wondering, he's not spoke about them yet, it's because I feel like I just need a whole separate video on that fight. It deserves it. It is, again, it's all the marbles, all the belts on the line. Let's not, let me not just give it 2 minutes. I think that deserves a good 15-minute video. What we got there? Figueroa. We've not even spoken about Figueroa. Jesus Christ. Jamal Charlo, this is interesting. I'll take B-side status to fight Golovkin in his backyard in a big ring. I like that, in a big ring. I'll take B-side status. You are B-side to Golovkin. I'll take B-side status, but you are. Although some might argue that Charlo is a bigger draw in America. Possibly. Yeah, why not? Why, again, why can't we have that fight? What's Golovkin actually waiting for here? Let me just type in Golovkin. Like, what's going on? I think there was an issue with TYSON and Golovkin, but we've heard nothing from Golovkin. Nothing. When was his last fight? 18th of December against Zeramata. Yeah, you kind of need to hear something now, don't you? You need to hear something now. It's funny, yeah, like when we, like people say, oh, Golovkin's done, yeah. Like, he was hurt by Derevyanchenko, but he beat him. Beat him. It was a close fight, but he beat him. Like, the only person that's beat him ever is Canelo. And that was disputed. That was a majority decision. But the way in which we've just dismissed him, like, yeah, he's done. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. I still think there's 1 or 2 good fights left in the man. I really do. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. All right, guys, I think that is it. Just because I've not even talked about Gamal Yafai losing to Jason Cunningham. Jeez. But look, we'll do a catch-up video throughout the week. We might do a live on the week as well. But we are 110% doing a live watch-along for Taylor Ramirez. But peace and love.